Well, you probably wondered what happened to me. I gave you the first of many skills that I see salespeople needing, and then I disappeared for a few days. Well, I had travel and got a little ill of some kind of flu or food poisoning or something for 24 hours. But I'm back, and we're here to talk today about controlling the sales process. You know, when I was first starting out in sales umpteen years ago, I never knew anything about the sales process. Now I think that's all young people hear about when they go into companies and their sales training or coaching of some kind. But I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. It was just out of mind. It wasn't even a conscious thought for me. But I think of everything that I've learned over the years, this notion of process and controlling the process has probably hit home the most. But it's not for why you might think, and it's not because I want to control anything. We talk in our training about controlling the process, but the fact is you really don't have control over it. I mean, we don't control much in our lives, do we? I mean, we can make plans for the next 5 years, or we can make plans for 10 minutes from now, and something may occur that totally obliterates our plans. So this notion of us having control over a process that other people are involved in, I think is a little bit much. However, I do think we have control over one thing most of the time. And that one thing is us. It's what we say. It's how we think. It's what we do. It's how we react to things. And so if you want to control, or let's say influence the sales process, I think we need to first own ourselves and say, okay, how am I thinking about this prospect? How am I thinking about my role with this prospect? How am I thinking about the process itself and how I can guide and stand along and walk alongside this prospect as we go? And at some point, they may say no, and at some point, you might say no, and that's okay. That's totally okay. When you have control of the process is exactly the time when you detach from control of the process. Because until then, if you're trying to say something to get somebody to do something, you're saying to get them to say something in the right way, and you're taking what they say and you're all twisted up. So the paradox is the way to have control over yourself is to detach from control over anything else. And if you're focused on, like we say, hitting the next ball or making the next basket or getting the first down, if you're focused on the next thing in front of you, I think then that's how you'll control the entire process. But it's not by trying to do it. So I hope that helps you. Today, as you walk through the day or run through the day, just think about that. Think about some of the processes you're in and say, okay, by exerting more control, am I really controlling, or am I twisted up and I become attached to the outcome, which is not a good way to control anything? See ya.